Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, y'all. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music and entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Happy Saturday. As you know, we normally don't go live on Saturdays unless there's some news to talk about. We have to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the mid-season trailer that dropped yesterday. We also have to talk about, of course, Married at First Sight, Houston, but we also have to talk about the new season of Married at First Sight. The couples have been revealed. We will get into them in just a second. First of all, shout out to everyone that's already in the chat, guys. Be sure to share this live on your favorite platform, be it Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be. Also, don't forget to like the video. And let me stop the snow, because I don't want to start calling the snow upon me here in New York. Only snow in our imagination. Let's first talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So as you know, the season has really essentially been focused on Jen Shah and her arrest and the ladies' reaction to that. Well, now we have a mid-season trailer where we get a lot of stuff beyond just Jen Shah and her drama with the ladies and her legal drama. As you know, if you didn't know, they've set a date. It's actually my friend's birthday. They set a date for Jen Shah's trial. But before doing that, Jen Shah's attorneys tried to have the case dismissed. They tried to have the case dismissed because of the people that were involved and interviewed in the Hulu documentary. However, shout out to Ronald Richards. He made it very clear the people that were involved aren't directly involved. So there is no legal precedence for her to, to dismiss the case if these people aren't the ones directly involved in regards to the prosecution. She tried, though. Look, they have to try something. The judge wasn't trying to hear it, and they've set the date. The date is March 22nd of 2022. That seems like a lucky day for us, not for Jen Shah. The trial will begin here in New York, and you know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out from that, so you know we will be following up on that. But let's talk about what we saw in this mid-season trailer, and that is Jen Shah losing it multiple times. At the top, her and Lisa are going at it. And I don't know if you've been following the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tea. There was a rumor out there that there was a physical altercation with Lisa Barlow. Lisa was on social media saying that's not true. And then we saw footage in this mid-season trailer. Did I have a picture of that? Hold on, y'all. I think I have yes, I do have like a little snapshot. Is this it? Hold on, y'all. No, look, we'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that too. Where is my, oh, here it is. Sorry, y'all. As you can see, that is Jen Shah going at Lisa Barlow in the Sprinter. And I'm assuming the woman that's grabbing her is a producer. I wonder if Andy will give us a disclaimer at the beginning of this reunion. We also hear that in the Real Housewives of New Jersey, there are multiple physical altercations as well. I wonder if he'll get a disclaimer with that. Of course, we're going to get one now because we're calling him out on it. Jen Shah looks like she's lunging. Well, it doesn't look like. She is lunging at Lisa Barlow. Lisa Barlow doesn't look like a fighter, even though she is from New York. Doesn't mean that you're a fighter. But that might not be the one you want to attack, Jen Shah. And this is not a good look for Jen Shah. Attacking someone physically, and you have a pending criminal case against you. Guys, if you missed our recap of the Housewife and the Shah Shocker, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We broke down all our favorite moments from that. We even had people call in and share their thoughts. So more from this, I took notes. Y'all know I'm always taking notes. I'm just giving you a brief overview of what we saw in this mid-season trailer. If you haven't seen it, it is available on Bravo's YouTube, and I'm sure it's also available on their Instagram. So there is this physical fight between Jen Shah and Lisa Barlow. It doesn't look like Lisa Barlow is going to fight her back because they're trying to pull Jen Shah off of her. Again, not a good look because she looks like the aggressor in this fight. Okay. Lisa is invoking her Kyle, because you know Kyle loves to do splits at parties. Lisa is doing splits at parties, even though, look, a lot of people will say things in life, even here on YouTube, when you do something, they automatically, oh, you're trying to be like someone else. Look, splits aren't something new in regards to people doing them. So I'm going to give Lisa grace here. Okay, Lisa, that's the only grace I'm going to give you, though. Mary Cosby and Jen Shah have a conversation. And you know Mary Cosby, she's kooky, she's crazy, whatever you want to call her. At one point in this conversation, she says, I pray to God you're guilty. I mean, innocent. See, and I honestly believe that Mary Cosby, really, she just makes a mistake. Or she really is saying what's on her mind. But it was a funny moment, and I'm here for those funny moments with her. Okay. Whitney, and I think this was all editing. Whitney says that she spent her entire life savings on the rebranding of her Whitney Rose brand. When she says her savings, when she says their savings, I'm going to assume that she's really meaning her own savings and not her and her husband's. I just have a feeling like, are we starting with the, oh, I'm broke? I don't think so. I think it's really her life savings and not the entire Rose situation. Okay. But that was, Whitney has to have a storyline. Whitney, you don't necessarily need a storyline. You carried the first season with your father's storyline. Well, I don't want to carry the season, but it was an important part of the season. And I like Whitney. I think Whitney is funny. I think she's witty. I like her. She's in the mix of everything. Whitney, you stay. But Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks, we saw the signs. We saw the signs that things weren't hunky-dory between these two. This is Lisa losing it on Meredith, saying, you're a liar. I will not calm down. Okay. All right. We saw this coming. Is this orchestrated just for television? I hope so, because I don't like to see friendships fall apart. I really don't like to see friendships fall apart. But this friendship looks like it is falling apart. You remember at one point when the whole Jen Shah arrest happened, Lisa was on the phone with one of her attorneys. I think Meredith knows something. Meredith later says, that's not what a friend does. Implicate your friend in a major legal situation. As if she's not mic'd. You can whisper all you want. Everything's being picked up. Then we get this moment with Jen Shah and Coach Shah. Oh, Lord. honestly, we're used to looking at Jen Shah's face like this, where she's just losing it. Obviously, she's going through a lot right now in regards to her legal battle. However, I'm not surprised at this reaction. You know what the reaction that really got me? This reaction. Coordinator Shah makes an appearance mid-season. He looks like he just doesn't care. He's like, you're going to jail. I don't care. I'm going to be rid of you. I can be with my real family and my new blended family. Because if Jen Shah is convicted, she's going to jail for a long time, y'all. Long time. But this is looking at this, and he's like, ugh. But we're still looking at you, Coach Shah. Not to say that Coach Shah knew anything specifically, but his life still benefited from this money that she allegedly stole from elderly victims. Okay? Which goes back to Jen Shah trying to get this case dismissed because of the Hulu documentary. I said this before when we were talking about it. I said that's, I think, part of the reason why we didn't get any direct victims that are involved in the case that's being brought against her was so that they, Jen's side couldn't say, oh, this has caused the investigation to be, inappropriate. All the legal terms. Y'all don't come here for the legal terms. But pretty much it would tarnish the case against Jen Shah. Okay? That's part of the reason why I believe that actual victims that are part of the case that's being brought against her were not involved in the documentary. Even though she tried to. She made a reach. She tried to make a reach and get that case dismissed. The judge was like, no, and this is going to be your court date. March 22nd of 2022. That's right around the corner. Happy early birthday to my friend. That's her birthday. Oh, anyways. Of course, Jenny has to have a moment. It looks like Jenny really is trying to be the new Jen Shah, throwing glass at Meredith. Again, Andy, I expect a disclaimer at the beginning of this reunion that you don't accept physical violence. Jenny, look, if you're trying to do this so that you can become the new Jen of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I'm still not interested. I was interested in the beginning, especially because of your family. But after your butterface husband and the whole sister-wife storyline, and then your niece coming out talking about how you guys aren't who you say you are, I'm looking at you so differently now. It looks like you're trying to have a moment, and I'm not interested. And Mary Cosby might not be the one to mess with. You heard what Whitney said. Don't be surprised if something... Never mind. Look, you've been warned, Jenny. I'm just saying. Speaking of Mary, Lisa is going at Mary. Well, first of all, at one point during this trailer, Mary says to Lisa, everyone thinks you're Two-Faced. We all think that she's Two-Faced. We all think that Lisa Barlow is Two-Faced. But they go at it in regards to her congregation. Lisa says to her, your congregation is leaving you. This is not going to be over. I believe that this whole congregation cult accusations, don't be surprised if you see the housewife and the cult. If they take that title, y'all owe me, or at least have me be a part of the conversation. The housewife and the cult. Allegedly. I'm not messing with Mary. I'm not. You heard what Whitney said, the cousin said about Mary? You don't want to mess with Mary. You don't want to see Mary mad. All right. So that drama continues. What I love about Salt Lake City, besides the different religions and women and the storylines that are going on, it's a new city. People are still gravitating to it. The ratings are decent. Definitely better than Watch What Happens Live. Vanderpump Rules, those ratings are sucking. $1 Million Listing LA, those ratings are sucking too. Sorry. Below Deck is doing so very well. Even though I don't really love the season so far, the ratings are doing well. Meredith, at the end of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, says that I'll talk about who everybody dated and that no one knows about. Meredith, I know you follow me on Twitter and I don't care. Because I love how Paris started following me on Twitter and Meredith after I reported on some stories about them. Do you guys think that means I'm going to stop talking about you? We're live on Twitter too. Hey, Meredith. Meredith, although in this mid-season trailer, it does look interesting. It does look like Meredith is bringing something. And I hear that Seth is speaking out about how Jen was following. Jen was what's the word? I can't think of words. It's Saturday, y'all. How Jen was harassing their 20-something-year-old son Brooks. And I looked at the comments and everyone was like, he's not a kid. He's a grown adult. I think everyone's just over Meredith trying to reach with this storyline and then Seth leaning into it. And I still don't believe in the relationship between Meredith and Seth. To be honest with you, I don't. Seth is a little weird. There's like a few weird people on the show, but I'm here for the weird. It makes for great for reality TV. Just saying. Anyways. Jenna says Mary be sending people directly to Jesus. Anyways, so that is the mid-season trailer recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I had to talk about it because I didn't have a chance yesterday to talk about it because I was covering this whole Tristan Thompson story. Just gave you guys an update. If you missed that video, check that video out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Tristan's baby's born, allegedly. And the new baby mama, she's messy. She posted pictures. She says she's heartbroken about the father not being involved. She posted pictures of True Thompson saying, of his other kids, saying that she hopes that they are able to, see their siblings at some point. All right. Pep Doll. I know who you're talking about, and I'm not going to even say. You guys can discuss in the chat. I know who you're talking about, though. All right. I've been talking about Married at First Sight for weeks now, telling you guys I'm trying to catch up. I'm watching season 13. Married at First Sight Houston has been playing out for the last couple of months. The new season will be starting in January, right around the corner. So we will recap that on a more weekly basis. But I wanted to talk about season 13 because it literally just ended. And I had to talk about some of the couples. But before we talk about some of the couples, can we just take a look at the new cast? Can we just take a look at the new cast together? And then we will get into Married at First Sight season 2. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Hold on. We will get to them in a second. So shout out to our friends over at Reality Blur, because as you know here, we always cite our sources. So shout out to them, always reading some of their stories there. So they say, well, here we go again. Married at First Sight returns in January. This time it's in Boston, Massachusetts. And the new season brings with it 5 new fresh couples that we can't just get enough of. Again, guys, I understand that this started as a very heterosexual show, but why haven't we had a gay couple? Why haven't we at this point? Season 14, and we still have not had a gay couple? I would just love to see that dynamic, or even a whole season of just gay couples, lesbians, gay men. Come, are we going to do that at some point? Lifetime? Anyways. Okay, so they've introduced us to the couples. Can we just take a look at the couples together before we get into Married at First Sight Houston? So Married at First Sight returns in January. Boston, Massachusetts is where they're going to be. Michael and Jasmina. All right, they're a beautiful couple. 29-year-old Jasmina has a big heart and a passion for helping children, which led her to a career in early childhood education. After a childhood of witnessing infidelity in her family, followed by her own dating life, which has also been riddled with infidelities, it's no wonder Jasmina has been a little gun shy of marriage. But after working through her past traumas and putting in the real work to heal, she feels she's finally ready to hand her hope over to the experts and to find her lifelong partner. Aren't they all? So guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Married at First Sight, the new season that will be coming in January. This is one of the first couples. The experts have paired her with 28-year-old Michael, a dating app daddy that has been a dating app daddy, interesting, that has had less than success using the conventional dating methods. After a heartfelt discussion with his sister, Michael was convinced that Married at First Sight was the right choice for him. Don't they all? Matter of fact, let me make myself a little bigger. Look, you guys can see the couples, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is shout out to Reality Blur for providing us with this update. I've been following this since they posted this article. So this is Michael and Jasmina. They will be a part of the Boston cast for Married at First Sight. All right. Look at that. Look at the dog. They're a cute couple, right? They look good. All right. Alyssa and Chris. All right. 30-year-old Alyssa is a lover of animals and follows her passion both near and far as she rescues animals from all over the globe. The experts have paired her with 35-year-old Chris, a serial monogamist who has been in back-to-back long-term relationships since he was in high school. But now he's ready to find someone for his forever and a romance that will continue past the honeymoon phase. Another cute couple. All right. Mark and Lindsay. 34-year-old Lindsay has long since admired her grandparents 70 years and counting. Wow. Imagine being with somebody for 70 years. That's hard for me to commit to what I'm wearing in a day. You guys know I change outfits throughout the day when I'm coming on live. But that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So, okay. So she's looking for a relationship very much like her grandparents. Okay. 37-year-old Mark the Shark, okay, as he is affectionately known among friends, has been eager to be married for some time now. He's 37? All right. He even applied for the show back in season 6 when Married at First Sight rolled out through Boston the last time. Sidebar, I had this thought. I know you guys love to recycle on reality TV, love to recycle some of your favorite reality TV contestants and stars. Why haven't we seen some of the old Married at First Sight people come back and try it again? Why haven't we seen that? That would be really interesting. Let's see if we can get it right this time. See, this show really speaks to my psychology major self, why I always really enjoyed reality TV. I've been watching reality since the beginning, Real World. And it's always been that whole psychological experiment that I enjoy. And this show really does all of that. And that's why I like it. And I'll share with you my thoughts in regards to why I think a lot of these relationships end up not working. Okay. So this is Mark and Lindsay. They're part of Married at First Sight Boston that's coming in January. He looks like he has a Boston accent. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. This is Noe, I'm not sure. And Steve, okay, 33-year-old Noe. Knows how to love and isn't afraid to show it. Unfortunately, her freewheeling and free-loving ways have gotten her into a little bit of trouble in the past. But she's now ready to settle down. Okay. 38-year-old Steven is no stranger to arranged marriages, as his grandparents revealed their marriage of 60 years was in fact arranged. With so many happy and long-term marriages in his family, Steve is hoping to join in the family tradition. All right, cute couple. All right, Steven and Noe. All right, Katina and I'm just gonna call him Ola. I'm gonna call him Ola. I apologize until I'm able to learn your name and be able to pronounce it correctly. All right, beautiful couple. I'll just start there. Beautiful couple. 29-year-old Katina has spent the last 2 years in a long-term relationship with herself. Okay. I think we all have. If you were already not connected with someone before the pandemic, I think we all been in a long-term relationship with ourselves for the last almost 2 years. Okay. Well, I guess unless you're in never mind. I'll leave it alone. Katina has spent the last 2 years on a serious self-love journey and now finally feels ready to share all that love with someone else. That sounds really healthy, though. Based off of this, I hope that this is it for her. 29-year-old Ola is a reformed why did they get her with the reformed playboy who found Married at First Sight through his former college friend and confidant, none other than Jet Pierre of Married at First Sight season 6. I can't remember. I have to look at that again. Jeff, I don't know how to pronounce his name, married his wife, Shawnice Jackson, through the show, and the couple has been together ever since. Okay. Was Shawnice I have to go back, guys. Anyways, so this is Ola and Katina. Beautiful couple. Another really beautiful couple. But just because you make a beautiful couple in pictures doesn't mean compatibility is there. We shall see. All right, so that's the 5 couples. I'm interested. As I said to you guys before, I love Married at First Sight. I know I have not been recapping it, but so many of you have been hitting me up saying, Kempire, do you watch Married at First Sight? Are you going to recap it? I wasn't able to because of the streaming service that I had. They didn't have Lifetime, which is like, really? So I have switched over just so that I can recap this and talk about it. Season 13 just wrapped. So I feel like we can still talk about it. I will be dropping the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts and favorite moments from season 13 of Married at First Sight Houston. But let's just jump right on in. Because I've been talking already for almost a half hour. But of course, we had to recap Salt Lake City. We had to talk about the new cast of Married at First Sight Boston. So let's get into. We gave people enough time just in case you were late. we gave you enough time to get it together. All right. Uh-oh, people are reacting. What? That still doesn't help me. But thank you. I appreciate the help, though. Thank you so much, Nana. I appreciate you all being here. Bridget says, these experts be setting them up for failure. I swear. Before we get into Married at First Sight Houston, I thought that originally when I first started watching Married at First Sight, I was blaming the experts. But no, I blame everyone else, the people that are a part of the show. You know why? Because so many of us think we know what we want. We think we know would make our perfect partner. And then when the experts find someone that might match that energy, not necessarily just looks, but personality and life goals and things like that. And when we get it, and we see this in life too, we're like, that doesn't work for me. So I really blame the people that are involved. That part, or they're not truly honest in the tests that they go through with the experts. So I honestly believe it's really the people that are involved. And they think they signed up for something, and they actually, once they get into it, they're like, that's not what I want. I thought I wanted this. They all, at the end, say they still want marriage. Some people should never be married, especially in this Houston cast. I started the first couple of episodes, and I was texting my friend that watches this as well. I said, I don't see any of these couples making it at the end. And very much like past seasons, one couple, well, there was 2 technically at the end that made it, but then we find out later in the reunion, only one couple is kind of making it. But we'll get there. Let's take it each couple one by one. All right. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking about Married at First Sight. Houston, I told you guys about Jose. If you follow me on my social media, or if you follow me in the community tab of Kempire Daily on YouTube, then you know I was talking about Jose because I looked at Jose and I said, is he on the right show? Of course, we later find out that Jose and Rachel are the only couple that make it. And I say make it. They do have some ups and downs, some bumps in the road. She moves out because it's Summer Rachel. But they're still working on it. They're still married. And at the end of this, I think it's the Where Are They Now? They talk about Rachel moving back in because she ends up moving out. Because Jose is a control freak. And I thought it was really revealing when Dr. Pepper said, I think you should get actual clinical help. If a doctor tells you that, I hope he really did get clinical help. Oh, we're going to talk about Mirla. Elma says, I disagree, Kempire. I think it's now production and that put them together at this point. I mean, I'm basing this off of what they said they do in regards to behind the scenes on how they match these couples. I really do believe there is a level of production involved, but I also believe that the experts, because these people, take what they do seriously in regards to their expertise. I don't believe they would be a part of a show where their expertise wasn't really taken into account. I strongly believe that a lot of these couples think, and a lot of people think they know what they want in a relationship. And then once they get that person, they're like, this don't work for me. That's just me. Shantae, you will stand alone with this one. I'll be the cheese that stands alone, but Mirla wasn't that bad. Sorry, not sorry. We'll get to Mirla in a second. Let me talk about this couple. So as I said to you before, Jose and Rachel, they had their bumps in the road, but from the beginning they were very affectionate. But I was looking at Jose and with the side eye because I was like, is he just living this life? Because he's lived most of his life trying to please his parents, doing the education. He works for NASA. He's not an astronaut. But he is very smart. He's achieved all the goals. He's got great credit. At one point, he tells us his credit score. I'm like, okay, all right, Jose. But I get it, especially as a minority. I get it. He's trying to achieve certain levels of perfection that we all try to do, trying to go above and beyond and achieve what our families have not achieved. And I feel like that's where Jose was coming from. I honestly did not expect this couple to be likable towards the end or to even be together towards the end, but they do. Were they the most interesting couple? Not really. When he locked her out the house, why was I defending Jose? Not defending him. But do you guys really think that he locked her out intentionally? I mean, I think maybe passive aggressive side of him did. But at the same time, I don't know. I've got to go back and forth in regards to do I think that he did it intentionally? I think on some level, even maybe subconsciously, he did. But she left. And why didn't she have the top lock? Or is it one of those things where you can't unlock it from you have to it's only unlockable from the other side? But they made it through. Look, every couple, Candace says yes. Onyx says yes. Candace, yes, he did. Exactly. Pop Circus is where I am. They both were wrong. I don't believe he was right, and I don't believe she was right. when Tay talks, Kemper, how do you lock someone out on mistake? Well, you don't lock someone out on mistake, but if remember, this guy is very routine based. So he goes to bed at a certain time. He does certain things. He's very routine based. So if he locks the door at night, it wouldn't shock me that he's just like, well, I don't think she's coming home. I need to lock the door. I'm just trying. Look, I still don't believe that this couple's real. I think that Jose really wants to live a certain type of life. He wants to have a certain type of house, a certain type of wife. He's very controlling in that way. So much so Dr. Pepper says that he needs clinical help. Okay? See, people, this is why I wanted to have the conversation. Vivian says, I locked my boyfriend out accidentally and he slept in the car. Whoops. And that a lot of people would say, Vivian, no, you did that intentionally. What did he do? I think it can happen. Yes, was it a convenient time? No. They just had a fight. Candace says, Kempire, now you know. I mean, would I do it? No. Maybe. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But when she describes that when she came back, she didn't want to text any of the other couples because it was late. It was late. Keep that in mind. She says it was late when she came back. Wouldn't he just assume she's not coming back? Or at least till the morning? I don't know. There's so much more to talk about. This couple is not the most interesting. I didn't think that this couple would make it towards the end. But they're apparently still trying to work on their relationship. They're still very passionate. Did we ever find out they consummated their marriage? I think we just assumed that they did. But I'm still looking at Jose with the side eye. I mean, when you put up his name in Google, what I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking comes up. There's no proof. I do think that Jose is really trying to live a very conventional life. I mean, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Okay. Let's talk about Brett and Ryan. I did not expect this couple to have the drama that they had towards the end. I'm team Brett though. I'm not team Ryan, even though I'm team me all day. But I'm team Brett because I really do feel like Brett, even though in the reunion they made it seem as she was talking to some guy while she was talking to Ryan. I think Ryan never got over it that she's not his physical type. And men are like that. Men can be superficial like that. I feel like women generally can look past looks and really women are a lot deeper. It's not just about looks for women. It's about everything. Honestly. Men, not so much. And I feel that that's what happened with Ryan. Brett is a beautiful woman, but beauty, what's beautiful to me is not going to be beautiful to someone else. I still, Brett went through a lot during the season. She lost her dog. We got introduced to the dog. She lost her dog. She's a big dog person. So that also affects a relationship. Loss like that affects a relationship. They started off like it was in a good place, but then Ryan checked out. Ryan checked out of the relationship. He was caught on a dating app and he was like, let me show you. I wasn't, I signed into it, but I wasn't in it. Ryan. We later get to see in there Where Are They Now? Ryan go on a date with his type. And we heard, Ryan falls in love very easily. Ryan, this is part of the reason why it hasn't worked. Try something different. Really try the process. I felt like he checked out very early on in the process, and that's why the relationship didn't end up working. However, I have dated someone very much like Brett, where they're like scared of everything, and it's sort of like you're trying to cater to their feelings all the time, and that could be weary on your soul. But as someone says, Pop Circus says he wanted a Republican. She seems like a vegan. What a way to say it. They did have very different political beliefs, and especially in this day and age, that makes such a huge difference. That makes such a huge difference. And I think for Brett though, she looked past that. She looked past it and was still going to try and make it work. I'm thinking a lot of those things about Brett, her being maybe not so, in the same political viewpoint as him, he was just like, this is not going to work. But I think he also wanted that, particular type that he has. And Brett's okay. Look, he has a nice body, but Brett's not a looker. Look, not Brett. Ryan's not a looker. He's okay. He's not ugly. But if I had to pick one over the other, and I'm gay, I would pick Brett. Sorry. Not sorry, Ryan. The girl that you went on a date with during the Where Are They Now episode, once I got to see her stand up and walk away, I was like, he's looking for a certain type, and that's not the type he's going. If he does marry that type, it's not going to work out in the long run. See, and that's what I'm saying. What's cute to someone else might not be cute to me. Ryan is really cute to me. All right. Candace says, he was I at best. He was I. Shantae says, a lot of them just need to move on to 90 Day Fiancé like Eric from last season. I can see it. Eric went on 90 Day Fiancé? Oh, no, I remember seeing that. Yes, I forgot about that. Oh, damn. Nikki says, Ryan is average at best. Yeah, he just had a nice body. His personality, his face, those are big things. He made it seem like Brett was below his standard. Who are you? Pop says he looks greasy to me. All right, let's not get on Ryan. I didn't expect this relationship to fall apart the way that it did. I think Ryan checked out way before Brett did. I think eventually Brett was just like, this is not going anywhere. Why am I going to force it? Brett's not perfect, but I hope that she finds love. Maybe with Gil. Even though I think Michaela is trying to move in on Gil. even though she's trying to call it a friendship. Gil, stay away from Michaela. Gil, who is the ain't. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mirla and Gil. Gil is a firefighter. Mirla is a con artist. No, I'm joking. Is Mirla a con artist? No. Brett, I think Brett would be down for a situation with Gil. I don't think she, is exclusive to just white men. I think she would be, because she has a lot of black friends too. We saw her friend group. So I wouldn't be surprised, but you never know. Look, you never know. But Mirla and Gil, who is the voice of reason, he was patient, almost to the point where I was like, is he a sociopath? Look, is he a sociopath? I don't know, because he just seemed too perfect. He was so patient with Mirla, who we saw from the beginning. I need to know her birth sign. You know how I am with these. Is she a Virgo? Shout out to the Virgos. She was giving me Virgo vibes, though, because she's so particular. She didn't kiss this man for weeks. I understand not sleeping with someone. And I understand maybe not on the first time you met this man would you kiss him. First of all, she didn't like the fact that he was bald, which I thought, okay, everyone has their thing. Everyone has their thing. But Gil is gorgeous. Gil is if he's a firefighter, shout out to all the firefighters, because you guys put your lives at risk every single day. I don't think we talk about the first responders enough. Shout out to the healthcare workers. All of a sudden, we've forgotten, because the pandemic is sort of leveled off. We've forgotten about our healthcare workers. Shout out to y'all. But Gil has a good heart. He seems sensible. He's good looking. He has a nice body. At the end of this season, they end up choosing to stay together. But then we find out later, she pretty much says, yeah, this is not working. And he says that he literally was blindsided. We didn't see Gil cry at all this season until the very end. He does say people are in his DMs. Yeah, I'm sure both guys and girls. He did say guys, but not in that way. But Gil I'm like, he deserves the best. And I hope that he gets the best. The best is not Michaela. Gil, if you're seeing this, do not date Michaela. We will talk about Michaela in a second. Don't date her. And if they replayed that damn moment when she runs through the house, throwing things over, moving the pool table, they played that so many times. So many times. Yes, Carrie says, I thought Gil was really sexy. And I get it. Not everyone is into Gil, that type. Not everyone is. I get it. But I think a good majority of us were like, wow, he has great personality. He has a really great job where he's helping people. And he's putting up with my mess. Mirla was a mess. A mess. All these I don't want a dog. I'm not walking your dog. Okay, people have their things. We saw already before she even met Gil. Oh, I'm not going to wear makeup. And Mirla, if I had to choose, and I know I'm gay, but still, she looks good here. But Mirla is not, look, she is not a prize, especially with that personality. Mirla is not a prize. That personality makes her so ugly to me. All right, look, commercial break time. Hold on. Guys, it's the holidays. Don't forget it's the holidays. Get your Coldest Water bottle. It comes in multiple sizes, multiple colors, keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. You see it with me all the time here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel and of course other platforms. I've been using this for about a year now. Love my Coldest Water bottle. Gift giving season. Get your Coldest Water bottle today for your friends, family, or for yourself. More information is available in the description of this video. Don't forget to use your 10% off discount code KEMP10. Back to Mirla. So she says, we honestly, first of all, we can't forget that she showed up to meet Dr. Pepper and she was drunk. We got to see more footage of that. And Dr. Pepper was like, this is so disrespectful. This is so unprofessional. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But that to me says a lot about who Mirla is. Now, I don't care about, oh, I need to have fancy shoes. I need to be able to, I don't care about that stuff. I get it. If it's your money and you're in a good financial spot, you don't owe, Tom, Dick, and Harry, why not? But if you're coming together as a relationship, you guys have to have those conversations. She says that there's some stuff that we didn't know about in regards to Gil's savings. Yes, Gil revealed, he's sending money to, was it Colombia? That's where his family was. He's sending money there. He has money over there that he's saving. Look, no relationship is perfect. I don't think Gil is perfect, but he didn't deserve Mirla. And Mirla definitely did not deserve him. He deserved better than Mirla. The fact that he waited for a kiss, weeks for a kiss, and he was so patient with her. And they did eventually consummate their marriage. I wonder what it really was. And Johnny obviously wants to sleep with Mirla. Johnny obviously wants to be in a relationship with Mirla. Is that a perfect match? No, that's not a perfect match. Since we're talking about Johnny, let's talk about Bao and Johnny. Bao is not perfect. Look, Bao is not perfect. Bao doesn't want to take baths. I rewatched that scene and I think I missed it. Is she alluding that she doesn't take a bath every day? I can understand maybe not taking 3 baths a day. Does she not take a bath every single day? That's nasty. And if you've worked out, you should take a bath. Especially when you have a husband. It's different if it's just you. And even then, ew. But still, you've got a husband that wants to be intimate with you. That doesn't make sense to me. Hold on, y'all. Let me just do this. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. JMM55 says, Gil and Mirla were unequally yoked, period. The experts need to do better. No more opposites attract bull. Do you think that's what it was? Amy says, that's gross. Donna says, I like Johnny. I thought I liked Johnny in the beginning, but I just saw some very hidden, very calculated ways by Johnny. And some of the things that he said about Bao on camera, I felt were microaggressions. I felt they were rude. I felt like he didn't need to say those things. He says behind the scenes, Bao was trying to manipulate him and say, let's not share all of this on camera because of her family, which I can understand, but you signed up to do a reality show, girl. I don't believe that this couple was perfect at all, either one to me. But honestly, I started looking at Johnny very differently towards the end of the season. I saw a very manipulative side to him. Why did Johnny show up during the Where Are They Now? Why did he go to the trip, the overnight trip, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to leave? You knew that Bao was coming. Bao and Zack tried dating in the Where Are They Now? That's not going to work either. We'll get to Zack too, because I liked Zack in the beginning. Kind of. I had a whole different perspective on Zack later in the season. All of these people were a mess. The only one that was likable was Gil. The only one that was likable was Gil. Poor Gil. Because he really was heartbroken over the breakup of his marriage. He broke down during the reunion. He stepped away because then they started getting into the conversation. Who do you think would be good together? Because he knew that the whole Johnny and Mirla situation. Johnny, you would get annoyed with Mirla too. He feels like, oh, they would match perfectly. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. She only sees you as a friend. A lot of people were saying this. Sunny says this season was a mess. But it was still interesting. It was still an interesting season. Let's move on. Because, look, the whole situation between Bao and Johnny, I feel like they probably should have checked out a long time ago in regards to their relationship. I don't feel like Bao is perfect. I was heartbroken for Bao when she took Johnny back to the trailer park where she grew up, and she shared that story with him, even though she really didn't want to share that story with him because she kind of already knew that the marriage was over. But they did have an agreement that they would say yes at the decision day, and then she decided to change her mind on him. So he was really blindsided by that. I don't know why she would say yes on decision day. You guys were not working. And I don't think Johnny is, I think Johnny, I know a lot of people probably like Johnny, but I saw some narcissistic traits from Johnny. I don't trust Johnny 100%. I feel like Johnny, he did a lot of microaggressions. He was passive aggressive to Bao, especially talking about the way that she giggles or reacts and things like that. But I'm like, okay. And he's also known her before. I mean, this was the one couple that knew each other before, and she always had a crush on Johnny. Pop Circus says they should only match couples that actually have a chance. At some point, they're going to have to do that because people are going to get checked out because after every season, only like one couple makes it. But again, guys, I say this when it comes to real life relationships. So many people think they know who their perfect partner is until they get that person, and then they're like, that's not working for me. Honestly. Amy says they're wasting people's time. Summer says Zack cheated already. It was exposed. He was even offering to buy the girl who was not 21 alcohol. Did I tell you guys when I was in Amsterdam and I was out in front of the Albert Heijn supermarket, these young Dutch kids came up to me. They're probably like teens. Oh, can you buy us alcohol? No. Do I look like I'm from New York? I'm not falling for that. Get away from me. I'm trying to figure out where I can get my next damn COVID test. Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's move on. And let me see. Mods, where are we with the guys, let's get to 100 likes and I'll drop the call-in link because I do want to hear what you guys have to say about the Married at First Sight season 13 that happened in Houston. The new season that is coming in January will be back in Boston. All right. So be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And if you missed any of the videos, especially the video I just posted, Tristan Thompson's baby has been revealed, his third baby mama and the baby. Be sure to check that out. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, Zack is a Libra. Do we know what Mirla is? Because I have a guess. Onyx says, don't catch the Omarion. That's what they're calling it now. The new variant. Hold on. Exactly, Natasha, right? New Yorkers don't fall for that. I told those kids to get away from me. With the quick, get away from me. All right, so you saw the thumbnail. You saw the thumbnail. Let's talk about this couple. I didn't know what this couple would be like for me. Michaela and Zack. Because I was like, all right, they're a cute couple. But then when I saw where it went later, I was like, what is going? She showed her true self. And you know I'm a strong believer. Shout out, rest in peace to Dr. Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. The minute he left, he had left at one point. And because they all stay together. He leaves. She says that she texts him, she doesn't hear from him, and she ends up packing up all her stuff out of the apartment and leaving. And they show the video footage of her throwing the phone down, that to me was the first sign. I mean, of course, he didn't see this, but we saw it, and I was like, what's going on with Michaela? Yes, we know her dad died, but it was giving me very different vibes. Very different vibes. Amy says she lost it. Made no sense. That was the first sign. That was our very first sign into who Michaela really is. Krista, thank you so much for the super chat. And is Rose still together? Mirla, Capricorn. Oh, she's a Capricorn, maybe. I can see that too. I can see that too. Shout out to the Capricorns. I mean, I'm not shading you guys. We all have things. Tauruses have things too. I know we're not perfect. Just saying. Pretty B says she got issues. Hold on, let me just see. Guys, we are almost at 100 likes. We have over 180 people watching. We're talking about Married at First Sight. Like the video. Again, it's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Once we get to 100 likes, I'll drop the call-in link for you guys to call in. Pretty B says, hold on, wait. No, Mirla is a gem. I want you to say that to my face. Dr. Pepper should have told Michaela she needs professional help too. I agree. After you saw that video footage, you're saying that she didn't need professional help? All right. Oh, someone says she's a Gemini. Who's a Gemini, Michaela or Mirla? Solo says she was a mess, but he was too. It didn't scare him too badly, clearly. Yeah, I was very confused by Zack. It's like towards the middle of the season, I was like, oh, something's wrong with you too. All right, let's talk about this couple though. So, you know, we are in a pandemic. So the very first introduction, they're on their honeymoon. They can't even have a honeymoon because Zack ends up getting COVID. So they end up separating. Okay, because she ends up without COVID. Even though they record, he has COVID, but he's recording in the same room. I'm like, girl, shouldn't she get out of there? Why is she still in the room? Oh my goodness. El Michelle, how would you react to Zack? Not like Michaela, but dude, get out my face. Look, Zack is not perfect. Zack is not perfect. Let's explore this relationship. So that was the first instance. He leaves. He doesn't tell her where he's going. He loves to go back to his apartment, which made me kind of look at Zack. At first, I was like, all right, it's a little weird. But her reaction was weirder to lose it the way she did. But they get over it. Remember, they consummated their marriage very quickly. Obviously, they were attracted to each other. Okay. I mean, Zack works my nerve when he's trying to get a point across. I'm just like, what, Zack? You're making no sense. Especially his idea. How about we say no at decision day, but still work on our relationship? The experts were like, what? Michaela at some point made sense of it, but still didn't understand it. The reunion was a mess because Michaela refused to be in the same room with him. She made some stunning allegations because they ended up being together and staying with him at his apartment after decision day. They went back and forth on the truth of that situation. But Zack's explanation on how about we say no on decision day? I'd like to divorce the last few months, but still work on our relationship. That's not how it works, Zack. So is it a yes that you want to continue with this relationship? Make it make sense. Zack to me was a little woo too. He was a little woo too. But I've already went way past the scene that I really want to talk about. When they go away and all the couples are together, which I do like that they've implemented over the years, how all the couples are together and sort of support each other, which can get really messy. Married at First Sight producers, can we get a gay version, please? It doesn't. I mean, I don't even need a whole gay version, but can we get a gay couple? I don't understand why we haven't implemented that. I understood before because not every state, you know, had it at one point, but now we can. Why have we not gotten a gay couple yet? I mean, I wouldn't mind a whole season of gay couples. That would be interesting. Just saying. Is that just me? All right. Let me drop the call-in link. All right, we're almost at 100 likes, guys. Like the video. We're almost at 100 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link. Oh, I need to get into Australia because I hear Australia is so much better. Married at First Sight Australia is so much better. Nia says they did it in Australia. I need to watch that. I need to spend some time before the new season of Married at First Sight here in the States starts. Australia always does it better. They always do it better. Anyways, let me just drop this call-in link. Let me drop the call-in link. All right. Onyx says Australia is super messy. So it's for us? Guys, we're talking about Married at First Sight. Backtracking just a little bit in regards to Michaela and Zack's relationship. Again, I don't think Zack is perfect at all. He really confused me. I think he checked out too soon, but I think he saw some things in Michaela that he saw in other relationships, especially how she reacted to things, that I was just like, I'm not going to immediately check out. And it seemed like as if he did. But then very like a, very toxic relationship. He's pulling her back in by, oh, I think Michaela's a great person. It was weird to me. All of a sudden, now he wants to work on the relationship. Did you want to work on the relationship? Did you want to continue to be on TV? It was giving me those vibes. It was giving me those vibes. I don't know. All right. But on this retreat with the other couples, they get into it. She's like, you can leave. But I love how they play back when she was like, oh, I'll ride back with you, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, no, I told you you can go. Michaela, eventually Zack does end up packing up his things and leaving, but then it's like, she loves to use her dad. And I do believe that does play a part in regards to what's going on with Michaela, but she likes to use that in every situation to excuse her behavior. He does eventually leave, but then she goes back inside, and they played this video footage multiple times throughout the season, and she loses it. She flips over seats and tables, moves tables. The cameraman tries to go to capture the moment, and she's like losing it. A producer's trying to hold her back. At no point did she really express remorse for it or explain it. She says that moment was an anxiety attack. Okay, I mean, it could be. But what about earlier in the season when you lost it then? Could have been another anxiety attack. I don't know. It was strange to me, and I felt bad for her because they kept on playing it. Pop Circus says the fact that she did it more than once is a red flag. Exactly. Antonia says she scared me. I thought she was possessed. But what scared me more was Zack saw this behavior or heard about this behavior. And at one point he checks out, but then he's like, oh, she's the best person that I know, and I want to make this relationship work. All right, Zack. That part felt a little weird to me. All right. Let me see something here. How come I didn't pin this? Hold on, y'all. Let me post this again. Natavia, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. Just let me pin this. Let me just post this again. About to pin it. There we go. Diana, please limit caps and curse words. Nightbot is watching. He is. He or she, they, not sure. Okay. Let me just save this here. All right. Natavia, I'm going to bring you up. Hold on one second. What's going on?
Hello, Kempire. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm a mess. Now that I'm rethinking about these couples, I'm like, it's a messy season.
Yeah, things kind of went left with them all. Like most of them, really early, it went left. Zack and Michaela. I know Michaela is off, and I do think that she uses the situation with her father to her advantage, to get sympathy from people to make excuses for her behavior, which is totally unacceptable. However, Zack plays with her. I think that he was playing with her throughout the season. I think that she just had those reactions, again, which is unacceptable. I'm not excusing her behavior or anything,
Right.
but I think he was just poking with her the whole season, and he had to be getting something out of it, which I believe was the sex that he kept going back to. Because after that retreat thing, and when they were sitting down with Dr. Pepper, and he was like, I'm done with this. Like, I can't, because like she was clearly delusional. And I'm gonna say she is delusional, but in her head, I don't think it went down like that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it went down like that in her head. So like, people really can't like be like, you lying, you lying. She not lying. Even though it's not true what she's saying, like, it's her perception of what happened, I believe. And I'm gonna say that because I had a moment like that, not where I was acting crazy like that, but I had a moment of perception where something happened at my house, and I was telling people this story, and it was just like off the chain, right? And then I was sitting later on that night, and I was like, I wonder, was that on my camera? So I ran the camera back, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that's not how this happened at all. But in that moment,
You cracked up yourself.
right? Oh, I'm acting like Michaela. But in that moment, it really felt like that's how things actually happen. So, I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah, so I can get that. That's when she was telling the story. That's probably what her perception was of it, but that's not how it was at all.
Mm.
And then, like, when he came back, because, like, clearly she had left him alone.
Yes.
Like, she had left him alone, and he came back and was, you want to talk to me. You want to smile with me. You want to hold my hand. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what is going on here, Zach? Like,
Yeah.
and people like equate this to like an abusive situation, um, with like men and women. And even though it was a toxic and kind of abusive, it was abusive situation to me. It's kind of not the same, because most of the time when men abuse women, the women don't go begging to come back. The men usually stalk them and beg them to get back and woo them, and then they go back for whatever reason. It's not usually the woman that's being abused going and chasing the man down to be back with them. So I'm like, he is playing this game, and it's dangerous. And then all this stuff that's going on now, it just proves that he just was no good either.
Did you hear about Zack cheating on Bao? Because we do hear in the Where Are They Now, they start dating.
I'm sorry, what did you say about him wanting to date after the divorce?
Well, no, cheating on Bao, because they started dating.
Oh yeah, that I seen the interviews with that girl, and the only part I don't believe is that she didn't watch the show or anything like that, because who dates somebody that's on a reality show and don't even go to watch it? Like, you just went off what your friend said. Like, even if you didn't watch it before, once you start talking to them like in live real time, you're gonna go to the thing like, hey, let me go see what he said on this. So you could try to compare what you're saying and what he's saying and what's going on the TV, or whatever the case may be. So I do think that she talked to him to because she knew who he was. She had watched or was watching the show. I don't think that she just talked to him because her friend said that he was a nice guy. But I do believe everything else she said, because like I've seen her on 2 different platforms, and everything she said was consistent, like with what she said on the other thing. So either, a lie is the hardest thing to remember, because when people get to asking you questions, you deter from what you said before. And she didn't do any of that. Like, everything was consistent. And I would have been embarrassed, but she's only 20. She just turned 21. Like, so she's like the same age as my youngest daughter, and she's about to be 21 in a couple weeks. So I'm like, geez, like,
I,
that
I, do,
is,
I do want to mention this comment. He never came back with his Apple TV. He claimed he was too tired. He probably had someone staying over his house.
exactly.
The first time around when she lost it about him leaving and not letting her know, but when he said, you know, they were supposed to be working on the relationship, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to bring the Apple TV so we can have like a movie night. And he didn't come back because he was too tired. I said, uh-oh. I said, no, something's not right about that. Something's not right about that.
Yeah, that's my thing. I always thought, like, why does he keep going to that apartment? And then he can't, even if you was going to get the Apple TV, y'all had just came off of a date. So why wouldn't you stop by on the way home? Or why wouldn't you tell her to come ride with you to go get it? Like, why do you have to leave and go get this Apple TV and then miraculously you don't come back? You're too tired. You wasn't too tired to go get it. Like,
and what did y'all your relationship?
Right, like it doesn't make any sense. Even when he said he was going,
like if I had a red flag.
Right. Even when he said he was going to go and take the dog to daycare or take the dog to the apartment, he had to put the dog to sleep. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, something something is at that apartment. When she said she wouldn't sleep with him. Right. Something is at that apartment that is making him tired. And then like he said on another platform that they only had, because he used to come in the chats and stuff, and he was like, they only slept together one time. And I'm like, now he's clearly lying. Like, he's lying, because why are you constantly begging her to sleep in the bed together? Like, if y'all only slept together one time, what are y'all doing in the bed so special? Well, he might have. Sometimes people don't think oral sex is really sex, so maybe that's it. Because that girl was saying like she was giving him, like, yeah. So, yeah, she said, yeah, the first day. I was like, good Lord. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, but.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Like, I'll ask you a question about the other couples.
Okay.
What other couple stood out to you the most that you really want to share your thoughts on?
Gil and Meredith.
Okay. Yes, let's talk about Gil and Meredith. What are your thoughts on this couple?
Oh my God. I just don't like how people are dogging Gil out. Like,
people are dogging him out?
Yes, people has been dogging him out, like dogging him, talking about how broke he is. First of all, it doesn't matter. Just because he doesn't make as much money as her doesn't mean that he's broke. Second of all, he's a firefighter. So he has a very noble job and career that he's working in. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have that much money. Like, do you know what he do? Like, that's like telling a teacher that they're broke. Like, they're teaching our kids and you have the nerve to say that they're broke. Like, that's not right. Or saying a priest or something is broke. Like, that's not right. And like I said, just because he didn't make more money than her does not mean that he's broke, because I date firefighters and they're not broke. Yes, yes, child. Yeah, they're not broke, and I'm not trying to take up for them because of that, but they're not broke. And with Gil, like, I thought that he was very patient with her, and with her being so-called high maintenance, like, you looked a mess, Mirla. Like, she didn't look like no high maintenance girl. Right? And people were saying like he kept on ragging on her and it was verbal abuse. She liked him calling her that. She called her
calling her that.
Right. She called herself that. Her friends called her that. She liked hearing that, because she always, you think I'm high maintenance? Girl, no, you're not. Like, right.
Calling her high maintenance is being kind, because she was actually very annoying.
And exactly. And then, like, I think that she acted like she was above people that didn't make the money that she made. And I think that was his point with her. And not, he was trying to humble her, not trying to dog her out for having something and being something or whatever the case may be. Because my thing is, since she was so into materialistic things, you could tell that that's nothing that she was used to. Because even though she had nice pieces, red bottoms and stuff like that, she didn't know how to pair them with her clothes. And it still looked a mess with what she had on. Like, and then like how she said to her friends on the wedding day when they was like, you got to wear makeup. She's like, I don't want to wear makeup. You look white as a sheet of paper, girl. Please get something on, zhuzh it up for yourself or something. And then she's like, well, don't make my eyebrows to look like theirs. And I'm like, how rude.
She was annoying. She was really, really annoying. Let me just get the super chat really quickly. NP, thank you so much for the super chat. Gil revealed that he makes more money than Mirla in the reunion.
And people dogged him out about that. He gonna go down to the sense and say this and that. I mean, they dogged him so bad. And it's not about her not wanting to be with him, and they like, she checkmate him. Checkmate him on what? Because what did she gain from you slept with him? So what did you gain from sleeping with him and having him believe that you loved him or wanted to be with him? What did you gain from that to just cut it off cold turkey? And I don't believe anything happened. I don't think anything happened that was reasonable, because she would have said something happened and he would have knew that something happened too. He wouldn't have said he was blindsided. Yeah. And I don't know what her end game was. Like, what was the point? What was she checkmating? Because even if they say the show give you money for saying yes on decision day, since y'all say she got so much money, she got money. So what amount of money is it that would be worth her sleeping with somebody that she didn't want to sleep with for some money? Like, what does that say about her? That's not a checkmate. That is a horrible human being. Like, that was just mean. It was mean. And then the way that she treated him was horrible. Like, if you ever cared about him, why would you sit there with a stone face and watch him emotional like that when you know he hadn't been emotional or nothing like that? Like, why would you I couldn't sit there and watch it on TV, let alone in person, if this was somebody that I ever cared about.
But you know what? It's because she's selfish and she's been selfish. And here's my one criticism of Gil is that he allowed her to be that selfish without being respectful of who he is. Like, this is a relationship. It's not just him catering to your wants and needs. His wants and needs have to be catered to as well. And I don't think that was happening.
Yeah, I think like really like I think he broke that down, and then she warmed up and like all the stuff that she was saying about him, like, and then for her to say on the reunion, like, you don't call someone a princess all the time or something she was saying. Like, you didn't have a problem when he was saying it on the show. You didn't have a problem with it. And if you had a problem with it, why did you pour your heart out to Dr. Pepper? And several times, like Dr. Pepper. Right. Like, that was not the only time. And then, you know, a drunk mouth speak a sober mind. So that's how I think those things were genuine that she was saying. So for her to turn that cold like that, I'm like, something is wrong with her. Like, something is wrong with her. And I don't know if she was playing this game with Johnny, but Gil, like I said, he did like a Q&A thing, and he was just like, they not together or whatever. They are really good friends. And he was like, so like, really don't dog her out about that or whatever. But
good person.
Yeah, he gave her a lot of grace and everything like that. And I don't know. That was just dirty, like low down and dirty.
Low down and dirty. Natavia, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts on season 13 of Married at First Sight. We will be recapping season 14 in Boston on a weekly basis, so I hope you'll join us for that.
All right.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, guys. Bye now.
Bye. Natavia went in, y'all. Okay, Krista, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Krista?
Hey, guys. I'm good. I just have to agree with her, because that's what I was thinking the whole time. Well, we're back with Zack and Michaela. We all believe now that he was using her for sex. Obviously, he wanted to still continue to sleep with her, and not stay married to her. That was the only reason I could come up with that he would say yes on decision day.
Mhm.
Now, as far as Mirla and Gil, as far as it being for money, if that was the case, they would have she would have stayed with him, and they would have tried to get on the show they do afterwards.
Yeah.
The camera, with the couples, they go on the show. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they continue on and they share their story afterwards. So she would have just stayed with him for that if it was about the money. I don't know what her end game was. I can't come up with anything.
Yeah.
Like, I really, like, she, in the beginning, I said, there's no way she's not. She's clowning him. There's no way she's going to fall for him. If she's not feeling it now, she's not going to feel it. And then I was sold on it, though.
So before I interrupt you,
Sure.
I want to say this, though, and which made me think of this was, do you think because Gil is such a nice guy, she only said yes because in her mind, she's like, this should be the guy that I end up with. I don't want to come across even worse on TV if I say no to him.
Now, see, I don't know, because that's where I got confused, because I was sold on her really feeling she cried. Like, I really thought she gave it all. And I thought she was the kind of woman that once you make your decision to be with somebody, you're loyal as hell. Like, because she waited to profess her love, to kiss him, so that she could make her decision and it be a long-term decision, because she wanted to weigh all, you could go through it in her head. So that's where I was like, wow, like, she waited 2 weeks even after decision day to say that was it. And like, yeah, you saw he was really affected. I felt really bad for him. And then what do you think about him going on a little bit of a lunch date with Michaela at the end? Do you think Michaela sees something else than he does?
I feel like he was trying, because he is such a great guy.
He is a great guy.
So I was just like, no, Michaela, I do believe Zack was horrible too.
Yes, perception is your reality. Remember that, perception is your reality.
I think
her perception was a little off.
I think something's going on with Michaela psychologically that she needs to address before she gets a relationship.
Yeah, I think Gil needs to be careful with that, because I feel like Michaela would take her claws in the back of him and think that she could be with him. And Belle and Johnny, I just, oh God, like I in the beginning I was like, I thought she was going to be the tough one. Yeah. I thought she was going to be the cold one and push him away, and he was going to have to fight for the attention. But I felt so bad for her. I'm glad she walked away from him, and oh God, I'm glad that she's not.
You walked away from him and then walked into another toxic relationship with Zack.
I know. What about? I know. Yeah. And now the thing, I have something that, like, with this show, I feel like they need to do a little bit of work before they put these people on this, because nothing. Now we're looking at a show that this season that really nobody worked out. Unless Rosé's still together, nobody worked out, and then we have Australia where nobody works out. They do a little flip-flopping here and there.
Australia, my God.
There's like, oh, you have to. It's so good. Unfortunately, like, they showed us a season after a season they showed us, so we knew what was going to happen. But it's really good. You watch it. But they should have new ones coming. You'd be better off watching the new ones. But yeah, none of them work out. And I think that they need to do some type of like couples counseling. I don't know. How can they even do couples counseling if they don't know each other? Like how, because like, okay, you could be all on paper, you're a completely different person than it is when you meet the person. Your chemistry that your chemistry has to mix. Like, you have to fall for that person, and you can grow in love. Yes, I get you can grow in love, but I think it takes longer than that to grow in love. You could say yes and still work on it. I don't think that was Zach's intentions, or I'm sorry, I don't think that was. Yeah, I don't know what the end game was for Mirla. I'd like to know. That's why I say she was a Capricorn, because if we say she's a Gemini, then we have to believe maybe that she felt the two different, you know what I mean? She felt. So I'm saying Capricorn only because I feel like she maybe in her head knew it wasn't going to be long term, that she was maybe she was trying to convince herself, because she, like you said, she knows he's such a great guy. He's a great guy on paper and in person. Like, he's good looking. He's got it all going for him. But like, you can't master up like chemistry. You can't put that, But yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
I appreciate you calling in.
You too. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, we're going to take one last caller, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about Married at First Sight. We are going to start reviewing it, especially when the new season comes back. But if you watch Married at First Sight Houston season 13 and you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on all of the couples in the comment section. This was a messy season, but I would like to start to see some of these couples actually make it. That would be fantastic. Even the couple, I think it was last season, the season before season 13, and we talked about this before, where the couple that seemed like they were the perfect match in New Orleans, I heard they broke up. Lord have mercy. Anyways, Mo, I'm gonna bring you up. What's going on, Mo?
Hey, first of all, I watch you all the time. You help my days go by a little quicker.
You.
You're welcome. But now that I said that, I know I'm going to get so much flack for what I'm about to say. I'm Team Maryland, man. Woo! I know. Who do I think I am?
You're
But
Team Mirla?
I'm Team Maryland, but let me break it down so everyone.
Okay.
Do I agree?
Look, Mo, before you continue, we welcome different opinions here on the channel. It doesn't matter if you agree or not, or it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. We welcome you guys to come on and share your thoughts in a respectful way, which you already are.
Sure, yeah.
Being respectful.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Why are you Team Mirla?
Okay, I'm Team Mirla because one, I'm a woman of logic. I like to lean on the logical side more than the emotional side, which is why I actually like Mirla a lot. Because when we look at it, a lot of the people that are saying like, oh, Mirla is this and that, and Gil was a great guy. A majority of the women that are saying that also aren't keeping in consideration that in the US, a majority of marriages end because of money. That's logic. And a majority of divorces are initiated by women. So when I'm seeing all this, I'm like, women are the ones that are divorcing these men because of money. Money is an important thing. And for people who try to make it seem like it's not a big deal, Mara was thinking logically. And if I was to date Gil, and I was like, Gil, can you take me to the dollar store? Gil would be like, yeah, get what you want. What do you want? Some Twizzlers? Because that's what he can afford. There are men in this world, and I'm not saying that's all he can afford. I'm just saying, I'm using like, you know what I'm saying? But like, there are men in this world. I've seen them with my eyes. They're like, baby, my car's not really working. Can you get me a new car? Sure. No big deal. So those are the type of men that are from Mirla. And I really also don't think that a lot of people around us on this day really know what a good husband is. They just see a man and that he's nice. There's a lot of nice men. There's nice grocery store men. Hi, do you want paper or plastic? That's nice. That doesn't mean they're a great guy. When you introduce someone to your mother and the first things you're saying are insults towards this person, that's not a good husband material. When a husband is looking at his wife and doesn't agree with her adorning herself, that is not good husband material. When a man is listening to a woman and the woman says, I don't want physical touch, but the first thing that he initiates with you is a massage where he's physically touching you, that's not a man who has a listening ear. So he's not that great of a guy, because if he was, he wouldn't be on Married at First Sight. Now, he's an attractive man. Now, that's what a lot of women are probably saying. Oh, he's a firefighter. Come and save me. He got muscles. He got a bald head. He's sexified. And a lot of us might be playing on our emotional state of, he was nice to her. There's a lot of nice men that will treat you nicely. But niceness doesn't make a good husband. There's a lot of other qualifications that make a good husband. And a lot of the times what people want to see on TV is a woman crying and suffering and long suffering and doing all. No, she was thinking very logically. If a man sees a woman that he's not attracted to, he's not going to be like, but she was a really nice There's no such thing. So did Mirla handle it with as much couth as she should have? No, but she's not an emotional person in general.
Why do you think she said yes at decision day?
Honestly, I think she said yes at decision day for me because there was a lot of pressure. And throughout the season, it was a bash Mirla fest. Mirla's a complainer. She's a princesa. But the thing about it is you're complaining just as much as she's complaining. You're literally complaining about how she's complaining. You're complaining about how she gets her nails done. You're complaining about how she gets her lashes done with her money. What kind of madness is that? I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like, you're mad because I spent my money that I go to work for every day to do my lashes.
Yeah.
But you like those lashes.
With that particular point, I was like, if she's not in debt, if she's able to afford it, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah. And I don't feel as though, and I'm the type of woman, I believe that women should be beautified. I believe that women should be adorned. Like, there's literally chemical things that happen in our body when we're being physically taken care of. I believe that all women should have that. All women should get their feet done. All women should get their nails done. All women should get their hair done. all women should be adorned. That's me. If other women don't want to adorn themselves or don't feel like women should be, I believe every woman on God's green earth, and I'm just talking about a woman from a woman's standpoint. I'm not a man, so I'm not really, men deserve things too. I'm talking about a woman because I am one. So I don't want the men to be like, what about us? You can get your nails done too. But it's like, I do believe that every woman, I believe that every woman should be adorned and should be taken care of physically, mentally. And I do not think that he was showing qualifications and characteristics of a good husband. Is he a nice guy? Yes. Be friends with those guys. Don't marry those guys. Those are not good husbands. Sorry.
Or can we just say he's not a good husband for Mirla or someone like you?
No, I don't believe he's a good husband regardless. And I'm going to stick by that because a husband is supposed to cover his wife. And for him to draw a balloon head, volleyball it around with other people, not hold back when he's so quick to say negative things about her to other people. Quickly, like he's more quick to say, oh, she's princessa, this, that, and third, rather than meeting your friends and saying, hey, this is a very beautiful girl that I'm attracted to. She's this. No, you are so quick to spew complaints about her, but she never really said any complaint about you. And one other thing, when it comes to her emotional standpoint, like, oh, he was crying and she showed no emotion. She hasn't showed emotion the entire season. Yeah. She was drunk. How many of us women have cried when we're drunk? Let's stop it. She was drunk. She was intoxicated. So yes, some people cry for no reason when they're intoxicated. But it's just like, even when she was talking about her rough upbringing, she didn't cry. When he was talking about his upbringing and brought her to like a park where I think his father passed away, rest in peace, she didn't have an emotion. And also, I would like to really have the women in the group that are anti-Mirla. If a man was looking you in your face and talking cash money, how many of you would just be able to sit there so elegantly and say, because a lot of you guys can't even compose not on this because everyone's been respectful, but a lot of them haven't even been able to compose themselves on YouTube. But you mean to tell me that if a man was sitting in front of you in your face, calling you princessa, calling you bougie, calling you this, insulting you in front of his mom, that you would just be so cool, calm, and collected, like, life is good? No, stop it. Like, you wouldn't like it. You would feel some type of way. And some of you guys might turn into Michaela behind the cameras. So it's just like, no, he was being very rude and very disrespectful. And that's not the qualities of a good husband. It's the qualities of a good guy, but not a good husband. And that's why a lot of people get divorced their first year of marriage. Because they don't know what a good husband is. They just get married because he's a nice guy.
Well, Mo, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your perspective and not being afraid to call in and share the unpopular opinion. Because we do appreciate people that call in and share something that no one else has said. So thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
All right. Let me say thank you to Natavia. Sorry. When Tay talks. Hold on. There we go. What qualifies her as a good wife if Gil being a nice person doesn't qualify him as a good husband? Look, that's going to be different. Every relationship, everyone's going to have a different opinion in regards to what qualifies someone as being a good husband. Do I think that Gil could be a good husband? I do. Do I think that Mirla will find someone that's equally yoked to her personality? Maybe. Might take her a longer time, but we also have to remember some of these people are on the show because they failed multiple times at their own relationships and they were looking for a final way to find that relationship. So that says a lot too. And I think we're thinking that they're great people, like this is like The Bachelor. No, they've tried it multiple times and it hasn't worked, which says to me they're not good at selecting their partners. So giving the information to experts to find it for them, they're still giving the same information that makes it ideal for them. And then again, so it's no surprise to me that they end up in a relationship of someone that's not going to work. I don't know about Mirla and Gil. That based on what we saw, we're basing our judgment on just a few hours of edited footage. We don't know what really went down between these couples on or off camera. I still feel like Gil is a very nice man. I think he will find a very lovely lady. Good luck to him. Good luck to all of the couples. I hope that after being on reality TV and so many people talking about your relationships, that you got good counselors, because I know that can affect people in a very different way. But thank you for making great TV. Again, guys, we will be recapping the new season of Married at First Sight that will be happening back in Boston. We shared with you earlier in this live the couples. So it'll be interesting to see what that will look like. We will be covering it here on the channel. So if you enjoy content like that, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday. I will see you guys tomorrow for Love and Marriage Huntsville recap of Reunion Part 1. And of course, later that evening, we will be live exclusively on TikTok at 8:25 p.m. Eastern for our watch party of Portia's Family Matters. Okay? And then we'll go live here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel for a recap of the episode. If you enjoyed that, be sure to follow us here and be sure to follow me everything on my social media. Everything's at The Kempire, Kempire Daily, or Kempire Radio. Thank you to everyone watching on multiple platforms. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com. Join our Texan community at textkempire.com. And of course, thank you to our moderators for allowing us to have different opinions in the chat, but still a great conversation. I appreciate you all being here. Again, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on what? Breaking news when we go live or when we upload. I'll see you guys later.